This is going to be a difficult day. Welcome back. You ready? Come on. Not sure what today's going to bring. Once I open the shop, one question will be answered. I know it's dark, but we're looking for something. Boomer's looking. We're looking for someone. Boomer, is she down there? The light's not coming on again. There we go. Where is she? Oh no. Coochie. Meow. There you are. Oh. Never ate it. Couldn't get her to drink. Now, can I get her to wake? I don't think so. Yeah, I told you today was going to be difficult is what I thought, because I didn't think my cat was going to make it through the night. Yesterday morning when I came down here before sunrise to get ready to go shoot a fishing video, it was still dark, and well, let me tell you what, Boomer, I wanted to go look for him, but he's right behind me, so I heard her meowing, and it was dark, and I didn't know where she was, but the meow sounded rough. It sounded low, to be sure. To be honest, it was very low. And she was laying down right over there on that side of the shop outside by a wagon. Nope. That's Coochie. And I went over to her. She wouldn't get up. She was meowing real low. Tried giving her food and water. I got her to get up. I brought her in here. She sniffed the food and then she went back out and off down the hill across the street into the woods. It's like she was, it's what I said to myself was, did she just come up here to say goodbye? Because it looked like, you know, like she was on death's door. She's an old cat, an old outdoor cat that I brought here from New Orleans. I do mean old. She's in her teens. Something like that. And she's just been living around the shop and under the house, and I've been feeding her. But she disappeared for several weeks, and nobody had seen her. Then all of a sudden she showed back up, and we started feeding her again. We were putting food out the whole time, though. We just hadn't seen her. She's not the only cat I feed. There's a bunch of feral cats. There's a bunch of cats, and I put food out for them, and they stay around. There's not that many, but there are other cats that are here. One of them's really friendly. It's some ginger cat, pretty friendly. I don't remember her actual name. I just call her Ginger, but I haven't seen that one in a while either. Yeah, when I came back from fishing, I was looking for her, and I heard her meow, and I'm like, where is she? She was down the hill and on the other side of the street, in the street on the other side. Wet. Partially wet, anyway. I went down there, and I said to myself, if I can pick this cat up without her complaining, something's wrong. I picked her up. She didn't complain. I was like, yep, because this cat hates being picked up. Hates it. Will squirm and complain and hates being inside. You put this cat inside, she just will not stop freaking out. You can't break her. She just don't want to be inside, and she don't want you picking up, but she loves to be pet and fed and she will stick around. And she stuck around. She's still around. But it's like in the final minutes, she was cool with being picked up and cool with being inside. And I just gave her a lot of love. And I had to go to sleep. I went to sleep for a little bit. I woke up really early again, and I was dreading coming down because I knew what I was coming down to. I had a guess Billy Faye was trying to tell me otherwise, trying to, I guess, draw me to the positive side, but here I am. And I know where the shovel is. Yep, difficult day. You have to say goodbye. I was saying goodbye yesterday, and I told her several times that I love her. And I knew she was headed out. And I just made her comfortable, and she didn't eat that fancy feast. She just... So people will be like, oh, take her to the vet. I could have took her to the vet and spent a lot of money to get the same result, or stave it off for a few days. Very old cat. Very old cat. Outdoor cats have a lower life expectancy. But this one has been around. She was a bit of an old cat when she found me, and she's been with me for over 8 years now, something like that. Somewhere around there. It's not like she was born a year ago. It's not a young cat. So she had a long, good life, is what I'm saying. And now she's gonna go under a tree rather than get tore apart by buzzards. I don't know what her wish would have been. She didn't write it down. It's a cat. There are no thumbs. Okay. I snuck off into the kitchen. I left Boomer up there. I wanted to get myself a cup of coffee to get through. It's never easy saying goodbye. It's not to anybody or an animal. But I've done this a lot. This isn't my first time, right? I've been through this a lot. I'm not trying to make light of the situation when I say that this is easier than what I will describe now. I have a cat before me that I need to bury. I don't know exactly what she died of, but she's here in front of me. And it's not easy, but it's easier than when they just disappear and you have no idea, when they're just gone. Right? This is easier than when you find your cat in 1,000 pieces. Because you start thinking about the trauma there, and it's just harrowing, right? It has a distinct effect on you, whereas this does as well, but we're involved in a process here. We were here when we saw it coming. We saw it early. We're like, yesterday morning, we're like, oh, you're not in good shape, and I don't think you're gonna make it through the day. When night came yesterday, she was still hanging on, but not much there, right? We just kept her comfy and nice and cool in here. Said our goodbyes. We reminded her a million times that we love her. We were very gracious, thankful that she was in. I was very thankful that she was in my life, because she was always there when I came home to greet me, and she never left. She was always right there. And she's still right here. Does she know what I mean when I say I love her? I don't know, but I think so. She doesn't know the words, doesn't speak English, but she feels the caress, and she knows where the bread is being buttered. Yeah, this isn't easy. I'm not making light of it. I'm just saying I've lost cats that I loved. They just disappeared one day. I had no idea. And I could never find them, and they're just gone. Or like with Blanca, that was hard on me because in the middle of the night, I heard a big cat fight somewhere outside. I jumped up, but then it stopped, and I was like, I'm just going to go back to bed. And the next day, I couldn't find Blanca. Never could find him. He was gone. And I'm just like, was that his last stand that I heard last night? That I heard that night? Was that his last stand? What did something get him? There was no black fur anywhere. There was nothing. There was no sign of any struggle. No evidence of attack anywhere. Just gone. Ripped out of my reality. This is different. This is more natural. And you have to accept that death is a natural event in reality in our lives. Of course, I accept it. I don't blame myself. But that is a process that you'll go through. That is a stage of grieving, the guilt, what ifs and all that. But after a while, you learn these things when you have to bury, when the years go by. I'm in my 50s. I've buried quite a few animals. I've not buried a person. I've always left that to the appropriate people to do that. So I have no experience with that. But I've been to funerals, and I've lost people, and I've lost animals. I've had to carry a friend who had died down some steps. My friend Boyd. The paramedics wouldn't come into the building to get him. We were informed that we would have to carry him down ourselves. This was in New York in the 90s. I didn't have a chance to say goodbye to him when he was in my hands, when he was in my arms, because I was so intent on saving the man's life. CPR and all this. And once we were halfway down the stairs carrying him, and his body was wet, so he was slipping out from our grips, it started to come to me. All these emotions that I held back just because I was like, okay, we're taking CPR. We're trying to revive him. And I had no idea what had happened. He'd OD'd. That's all I knew. Before, somebody had slipped by me while I was like doing CPR, taking over, because I knew CPR, no one else in the moment did. We tried to revive. Somebody slipped by, and later on someone told me that was the culprit. That was the one that brought the stuff. That stuff, by the way, killed like 12 to 14 people across the same label. 2 on that block. Boyd was one, and then there was someone else found who had done the same label in his car, like some dentist from Jersey or something, if I remember correctly. Crazy. It was just like, it took out a lot of people that night, including Boyd. But it started to hit me as he was coming out of my grip and other people's grip, and I'm just trying to fight, and I'm yelling at people, do not drop him. Come on, because they dropped him, and his head bounced on the steps. Concrete, metal risers with concrete pouring them. So imagine the sound, and it came to me. Emotion started coming over me, and I just let it out. And people were like, "Okay, we well, weak ass people like, hold on to him. Do not drop him. I don't care if he's gone. I do not want his head bouncing like a basketball on these steps. We get him down there. There's no damn paramedics there. There's nobody there. There's just some flat-foot cop standing there. It was the middle of the night. Woke me up. All this chaos. Losing a friend. That was chaotic because it just came on so fast. Dude wasn't even like a habitual user or anything. Someone just, hey, do you want to try this? He was bored. This cat lived a nice long life and got to the end, and she died close to her friend, close to me. He died, Boyd died in front of someone who didn't care. They ran out on him. As soon as he went out, they were trying to get their shit together and go, and a friend just happened to walk into the apartment and see if Boyd wanted to partake in a joint. And they just ran. They left him. They left him there. That dude. Remember, somebody later told me, and I was like, oh, I have a vague memory of that guy slipping past me when I was doing CPR. And I said, yep. I said, oh, okay. I don't know when it was, the next night or whatever, but family and other friends within like a 48-hour period had flocked to New York. And this did not happen at Sea Squat, but the wake was over at Sea Squat in the basement, and of course I went there. This is back when I was drinking. I wasn't like blacked out drunk or even really, really drunk, but I had a beer. There was beer and whiskey because it was like an Irish wake. There was a lot of whiskey. There was a lot of beer. So I'm drinking a beer, and friends are talking to me. I'm kind of somber. People telling stories, people trying to remember our friend. And I look over there and I said, hey, isn't that so-and-so? And they're like, yeah. I remember someone said, I don't know why he's here. The dude who slipped Boyd that bag, that hot shot, was over there drinking our free beer and whiskey. I don't know what came over me. I wasn't drunk. I just went over there and I put my hands around that son of a bitch's neck, and it took about 6, 7, 8 dudes to pull me off him. And then everybody got smart and was like, okay, we shouldn't have let you come in because this is all on you. You're too close to this. You don't belong at this wake because you're the one who gave him the stuff that killed him, right? There's nothing like that here. That's why this is so much easier, but it's not a joy. It's not a pleasure. Saying goodbye is just always difficult. It could just put a mood on the day. I don't know how I'm going to fish, but I got to get work done. You know, right before I moved here, I was walking the dogs. I know this is going long, but cut me some slack here. Damn it. Before I moved here, I was in Belle Chase, Louisiana. Place sucked. It's an alright town. I'm talking about the place I lived at. And there were things about Belle Chase that sucked. It still sucked. But Belle Chase is far better than living in New Orleans, but there are things that suck there. Anyway, moving on. I was walking the dogs back up to the house. Saw some lady in the middle street. All these construction dudes driving by, checking out the backyard because she had a big one. But she wasn't selling garden products like hose and stuff. She was trying to get to something that was in the middle of the street on the medium, and I stopped. I watched what she was doing, and she stood up and looked at me, and I yelled at her, "What got hit?" Because I just assumed she's looking at something that got hit. Because she's a woman getting out in busy traffic to a medium, looking teary-eyed, trying to get to something on the ground. Either her favorite scarf is there, or she hit a cat, or she said she didn't, but who knows. And I said, "What does it look like?" And she described it, and the way she described it was like it was a tortie or something. And I was just like, let me put my dogs up, I'm coming. And I put the dogs up, and she said, you have a towel or something? I brought something. And I went over there. I got into the traffic, got over to where this cat was, and I looked down, and I said, "Shit, is that Coochie?" Coochie's a tortie. But I wasn't sure, because this cat looked just like Coochie, but a little bigger, a little longer. I was not 100% sure. And I picked her up. She died in my arms. Took her to the trailer, which was close. I just see the two black cats hanging out right there by the porch. I don't see her. I don't see Coochie. I'm just assuming that maybe I have Coochie here. And it took me forever. Just like right now, I'm over my cat. I'm talking to her, and I'm talking to you. You know, we're having this vigil, this death watch, right now, right here. Without the sunglasses on, though. And I'm not doing that. I'm not burning sage. Well, I've been burning stuff up there, but not for the purpose of this, not as a ritual or anything like that. And yeah, I am covered in patchouli too, but not for this, just for mosquitoes. We're not committing idolatry. We're saying goodbye. So yeah, I thought I was burying Coochie that day. Took me forever to get the hole dug, and took me forever to put the cat in the hole, because I wasn't sure. I'm sure now. Before I could ever get to the point where I could put a shovel of dirt over that cat, all of a sudden, Coochie crawled out from under the trailer yawning. She was asleep up under there the whole time. She's asleep now. She looks like she's just all relaxed. Chilled out. Fell asleep under Daddy's tackle in Daddy's fishing shop. I just finished cutting the grave. That's not the hardest part, though. I've been around people like that dude Craig that I rented that horrible trailer from in Belle Chase. People, they're so, they want to, I don't know, it seems like they're stricken with so much grief that they can't deal with it, so they ask a friend. And for some of them, that's the truth. They can't bring themselves to do it, so, because they're so grief-stricken. And then there's the ones that are grief-stricken and they just don't have the fortification to do any hard work, to dig a hole like that dude Craig. Bless his heart. 2 dogs in a row I had to go bury for that guy. I didn't ask for anything. Maybe he bought me a pack of smokes out of the kindness of his heart. Maybe a ice cold water. Maybe nothing. I don't remember. But I had to stop what I was doing and go dig a hole in the middle of summer in a backyard. Because he just could he can't. No work ethic, you know. He's better at a tablespoon than he is at a spade. So some people just don't have the ability to cut a grave, to dig a hole. Some people don't have a lot of abilities that are physical. That one didn't have a lot of abilities, period. Bless his heart. But yeah, cutting the grave is not the most difficult. I mean, there are places where I've been where I had to bury a dog and I was digging through rock to get it done, and in the end the grave had about a 2-foot high pile of rocks over it because it just couldn't get it deep. We got this one deep enough for a cat because we're the people who live on the sand. Nope, that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is yet to come. This right here, this is the beginning of the hard part. The beginning of the hard part. It's difficult to even begin it. I just got to pick her up. Sometimes it's not easy. Seems like when you die, you gain weight, and then when rigor mortis sets in, it's just so weird. You pick up something you love and feel nothing there. This is where emotions start to kick in. Because it's so awkward. Oh my goodness. Let's go. My sweet Coochie. I named this cat Coochie, not because I have a dirty mind. It's because of the noises she makes, how she sounds. She made the most adorable coochie coo noises. I don't know if you even understand, but we're not referring to private parts when we say coochie. We're referring to how she would coo, make these sweet little meows, meow, meow, something like that. Let me tell you something. I'm hearing those all over the place. When I was carrying her out here, I heard something similar to the sound she would make, and I was like, that didn't come from her. My goodness. Anyway, you will always be a part of this space, my sweet cat. She will just become a part of all this, all these trees, all this greenery. Down in the bottom of my amphitheater garden, or the amphitheater garden, because I don't own it. I'm just here taking care of stuff. Saying goodbye. Yeah, saying goodbye sure does make for a difficult day. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get through. Somehow. I mean, I don't think this is the most appropriate time to say this, but I think some people need to hear it, because some people just don't know. Some people figured it out. I am single. I don't have someone. I have a good friend that I live with up there, so I'm not fully alone. but I am single. I am alone in some regard. But I have Hashem. I've always had God. I'm good. Because it's about life, not death, but you have to deal with death, especially out here in the country. There's death all around us. It comes and it goes. It comes at the most inappropriate time. Throws you for a loop. It grips you. Not everybody is able to dig a hole. But out here, you get used to it. It's not something you brag about being good at, but out here in the country, you burn stuff and you bury your dead. Just can't legally bury people though. So let's get this done. I'm gonna miss you. Shit. All right. GoPro, turn off. GoPro, turn off. GoPro, turn off. GoPro, turn off. Ugh. GoPros. I'm sorry. I was started to cry a little bit. I didn't want to cry in front of you. Sorry. I had to. Okay. GoPro, stop recording. I covered with leaves. I'm gonna leave this bowl sitting here with food in it, let the ants and whatever have at it, and I guess later on I'll find something more appropriate as a marker. So if I didn't fish today, who would blame me? I know what would blame me? My bank account. I need to fish, even when I don't want to. It's what I do for a living. I gotta make content. The fishing channel is the main channel. That's where the money's made. Some people do shut down. And I feel like it. I feel like crawling back into bed. But I've opened up myself to you. I've poured out myself. I'm giving you my grief, my sadness. I'm sharing it with you. Thank you for watching. And all that good stuff. And now, I bid you farewell.